Hello again.
Hello, everybody. This is Mariela.
And Alex.
And so today I want to share with you something I learned about consciousness from the Untethered Soul from Micheal Singer. And so I have been listening to this audiobook for a long time, and I finished the book maybe 7 to 10 times, and I always find something that I didn't understand before. And so yesterday, or even I think today, I finally got a piece of it with clarity, and I want to share this with you. And so, consciousness. What is consciousness? What do you think is consciousness?
This feels like a trick question. Consciousness is that spaciousness where there is nothing.
Okay.
That kind of blissful state of nothingness or space. Yeah.
Can you describe what's consciousness in yourself? Being conscious. Like in your everyday life when you are doing things. What is conscious?
Like when we're just being conscious in our daily life. So being aware, being in present moment, like that awareness of what you're doing would be being conscious about something. That's how we would use it, I think. And so yeah, which in some ways relates to our like inner consciousness, right? Because that's like the complete present moment. But when you're conscious, you're just being very aware of what you're doing, what's going on, and how that's all taking place.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I didn't expect to be put
for
on the
me-
spot.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Because like I never like sat and thought about it really, and it's something so abstract. It's surreal, right? It's something you have to really think about. And so in the book, Micheal explains. Do you remember parts of the book?
I haven't read the full book, even though I think it's amazing, and I read his surrender experience. I listened to audiobooks. Experiment? Surrender experiment?
Yeah.
Yeah, what did I say?
Experience.
Oh, okay, thank you. And that was freaking amazing. But when he talks about being the witness, kind of, so the first few chapters, that's part of the things he says. So there's like, you know, what you're experiencing and what you see, and when you're attaching thoughts to it and ideas to it, it's different. Like who's sitting in the back, where the projection's going, or what is that? That's just aware of everything that's happening behind instead of forward.
Yeah, so there is this symbolism that he uses so that people can understand how consciousness looks like or how it works. And so he talks about, as an example, you being at the movies. When you're looking at the screen, then you could have your consciousness being focused on the people around you. You could have the consciousness in the movie at the point that you can smell what they are smelling or feeling the same feelings as the people that are acting in the movie. And so you are immersed in it, right? You forget about what's around you. And the other one is you could choose to just look at the movie and stand back, like you were saying, objectively. And so he was saying that we can go in life, because life is like a movie, right? And so we can be immersed in it and thinking that you are just there. But how about if you chose to stand back and just watch whatever's happening around you. And in that way, then you don't get like too much into it. Anyways, it's an illusion. And then you don't get controlled by your emotions or your feelings. You just let it fall back. How he says it like that, right? Just let it go. Go through. Let the thing, whatever is happening, go through you, and that's one way of letting go. Because we were talking with Alex about many ways of how to let go, and so he's presenting one way. And I thought that was very interesting, of thinking how consciousness can be focusing in different things, and you are just the observer here. Yeah.
And so Mariela has obviously said that she listened to it that many times before, like all those pieces. I mean, every time you read or do anything, you kind of learn new bits and pieces. And so now this finally clicked, like this part clicked for you.
Yeah, there's 3 ways, how the consciousness can focus in these different things, and then, you think differently.
Have you been able to use that at any point today?
So I think everybody uses the consciousness in these different ways all the time. You're just not controlling or objectively watching yourself. Because you could be immersed in life, you could be just watching life, or just observing everybody.
I think there's still a difference though. Like, because there are people who are so lost in, so there's the idea that this human form, what we've created here, is kind of like an illusion, right? Like it's one piece, and some people are so caught up in this illusion that they're in a lot of pain, and they can't actually see that there's space between them and their consciousness. So there are people who are in that movie. When you're in the theater, like if you think of the theater, there are people who are just totally in the movie, and they're experiencing the movie, and they cannot see that there's anything else but that movie. And so I do believe there are some people who
Are just immersed all the time.
Yeah, but I don't think that's a bad, like it's not a good or bad or right or wrong, but it just might be where they need to be right now, or for this lifetime, or whatever that looks like. But it seems like, there are moments, like I think we all experience those moments of awe and like that connection. But I think for some people it might be more than others, or they can't figure out what that connection is as easily, or they don't have that time or opportunity, or all those things. But
I think everybody does it on and off, but we're just not conscious of the consciousness.
Exactly. That's the whole point. People aren't necessarily conscious of the consciousness.
We're not like always conscious
Oh
of
God,
the
no.
consciousness.
I wish we were.
Yeah, I wouldn't be so worried about things, right?
Yeah.
If we were just observing.
Yeah, and that's a big piece of like meditation, and that's kind of one of the things that Micheal Singer talks about as well, is like the meditative mind is really all about just observing, right? It's not about trying to control what's going on or going through your mind, but just to literally observe it and let it pass through, so that it isn't controlling you. So you create that space where you can be the witness and observer.
So easy.
It is, right?
Go through.
Exactly. It's not easy. It's not easy, but that's where it's really great, where we get all these different perspectives and ideas, and we try and play with it and see what clicks for us.
And with practice, it becomes easy, supposedly.
Well, and that's why they call it a practice, right? Because
Yeah.
it's something you need to continue to try and connect with and find how things work for you. And so it's like ongoing practice. Yes. Well, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for sharing as well.
All right. Well, we're going to sign off here, guys.
Have a wonderful day.